Welcome, everyone, to our Virtual Connections webinar series for the Global Consortium of Entrepreneurship Centers. My name is Jeff Reed. I'm from Georgetown University, a longtime member and proud attendee for GCEC. Today, well, before we dive into today's topic, just a quick note about what GCEC is all about for those of you who are new to this organization. We are a consortium of entrepreneurship centers representing universities and colleges all over the world. We get together and share best practices. We have one major annual conference. We had another conference this year in Asia. We have these monthly virtual connections webinar series. We have awards programs, a Slack channel, all kinds of fun things. So welcome to anyone who's new. I hope you'll learn more and want to get more involved in GCEC. But now we're going to dive into our topic for today. This is one that is very popular and interesting to me and hopefully lots of other people here. This is this whole topic around how do we use AI. Today, we're going to hear how to use AI for your students and in your classroom. And we're going to hear from a real expert from Ohio University, Crystal Geyer. I'm going to turn it over to Crystal. She's going to give us an overview, and we will then have some Q&A and discussion towards the end of the hour. And feel free to post questions in the chat as you wish along the way. With that, I'm happy to take down my screen share and turn it over to Crystal. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Just want to make sure that this works. You see my screen? We're good? Okay. So in the chat, I'm going to ask that you talk a lot in the chat. So you're going to have to 100% participate. So where are my educators? Okay. How much fun is a class where you ask a question and everybody just stares at you? You've been there, right? So
Yeah,
let's not have any of that. We're participating, we're here.
So Crystal, you're inviting people to turn on their cameras and
turn on your camera,
take
yell at
off
me,
mute, and whatever they want.
Interrupt, get involved. This is your workshop. So let's have fun with it. Cool?
Right.
Okay, here we go. So let's get started. So thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me. Thanks everyone for being here. My name is Crystal Geyer. I'm the Associate Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship at Ohio University. Been in the game for longer than I've been alive because I'm only 25 and I've been in higher ed for 20 years. So that doesn't make sense. But today we are going to build a startup with AI and hopefully have a little bit of fun with it. Before we get started, I want to get an idea. Where are you on the spectrum? I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal. Who thinks they're a big deal in AI? Anybody? Who is like, holy Christmas, this scares the living daylights out of me? Who is like, I have no idea what I'm doing. What is AI? What are we doing here?
I thought this was about Allen Iverson. Am I in the wrong room?
Yes. No? Yeah, we're not going to get there.
Okay.
And then is anybody like, I've looked into ChatGPT, I've poked around, I'm trying to explore, trying to learn a little bit about it. Okay. Most of us tend to be there. So just to, and all of it's great. Everyone can participate. There's still something for everyone to learn. So a handful of disclaimers. Contrary to what I have led Jeff to believe, I'm not an artificial intelligence expert. I'm not here to tell you how to build your own GPTs. I'm not here to tell you how it all works. I'm not here to tell you how it's going to take over the world or anything like that. I am passionate about what I do, which is entrepreneurship education. And so for those of you, put in the chat, and Jeff, I hope you'll chime in and tell me what some of them say. What are the barriers to entrepreneurship education for most of your students, or to entrepreneurship, I guess? Tell me, what are some of the big things that you hear? What are some of the complaints?
I'm seeing fear of customer discovery.
Fear. I don't
have an idea. Yeah, there you go. That's always
Kelly with the funds. Yeah, I don't have any money. I don't have enough time. So I started on this journey because I wanted to largely eliminate as many barriers as I could for my students who wanted to start something. So also, please understand, we're going to do this in the span of about 30 minutes. We are going to go so fast. I do ask everyone, please participate. We're learning together. And it will be a lot more fun if it's you participating instead of me just making things up. So also, we're going to do this in real time. I kid you not when I tell you I have nothing prepared. We're going to build a startup in real time. This may also be a spectacular failure. We good? Let's find out what happened. So this process might not work for everyone. And I understand people come at entrepreneurship or to entrepreneurship from a variety of standpoints. This is kind of what we're going to go through today. And so again, I'm not telling you take all of this and implement it straight into your classrooms. I want to provide you with a handful of tools that you and your students can use to get to the next place. So some of you said, oh, I don't have an idea. We're going to do that today. We're going to generate some ideas. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. Like I said, we're doing this in about 30 minutes. We're going to go really fast. We're going to identify some problems. We're going to do some simulated customer interviewing. I saw that in the chat. They don't want to go out and actually talk to their customers. You might get somebody who says, I don't know what to name it, or I don't know how to create a brand. And then we're going to put together a presentation. We're going to make a website. We're going to do all this. Who thinks that we can do it?
I believe in you.
Be like, this lady's crazy.
I believe that too.
Yeah, that's well done, Jeff. Yes. So we're going to start with everybody's, probably the one that you're most familiar with, and confirm that when I toggle this will work. We're going to use OpenAI, ChatGPT. We're going to use it to role play, identify problems, and brainstorm some solutions. So we're going to switch, and this should look like ChatGPT. We're good?
Good.
So let's just kind of get started. Who might we want to serve? So again, I know we sometimes start with a problem or start with an idea. Let's today, for the sake of this, let's start with our customer segment. Who might we want to serve? And this is where y'all come in. Dog owners. Yvonne, I love it. Okay, so let's get just a little bit more specific. So I'm going to start with telling ChatGPT what it is. So you are a seasoned entrepreneur looking for your next venture. The ideal target customer segment. Let's get a little bit more specific than dog owners. Let's do college. I'm seeing the last couple of things in the chat. Let's do college student, traditionally college students living in Ohio who are dog owners. I like to start with a problem. So what are some potential problems this target customer may have that are ready to be monetized? And so again, we're doing this in real time. I didn't prep it. I didn't tell it what to do. Okay, so here we go. Here are some potential problems that these traditionally aged college students in Ohio might have who also own a dog. Busy schedules, affordable pet supplies, dog-friendly housing, on-demand dog walking, pet-friendly social events. It's kind of fun. So this is going to be the basis of our brand new idea. We are the collective founders of whatever comes from this. Do any of these seem exciting? Any of this that we want to dig a little bit deeper on? If not, I'll just pick one. Number 10. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, networking, community building. So I'm going to just copy and paste. And again, I will say this a lot of times. We're going fast. If we really were invested in this idea, if we really wanted to dig in, we could go a lot further and we could prompt it a lot better. I'm just trying to just demonstrate a bunch of tools as quickly as humanly possible. So keep that in mind as we move through this. Okay, so I like to be polite to my AI overlords. I don't know if it will pay off in the future or not, but hopefully they remember me. Thanks. I like to tell, these are great. Let's dig into what are 10 potential startup ideas around this problem. So boom, just like that. Whoever told me that your students don't have ideas, guess what? Now we have 10 potential ideas that we could explore, we could monetize, features and benefits. So even that is new. So now we have our problem. We could also the other thing that you can do with this is now let's do customer interviews. Act as a dog owner who is 18 to 24. What are your biggest priorities? So you can simulate customer interviewing. You can ask it a couple of things. What is your budget? Oh, this isn't even letting me ask the questions. Wow. Okay. So now this could give your students an idea. These are some questions that you could take out into the real world and practice with real customers. It also is a really low barrier to entry way to just get out there and start learning. So I get it. Like, we don't really want to talk to each other anymore. This is a great first step to help your students build their confidence. So any of these potential business ideas seem of interest? I kind of like this. Oh, 3. Okay, campus dog clubs. Oh, pet sitting exchange. Okay, we're going to do that. So I'm just going to copy and paste, but I also like to check in with everyone. So again, I know we're going really fast, but I want to go back to this. Did we do this? Did we role play? Did we identify some potential problems for our customer?
Yes.
Did we brainstorm some solutions? So far, I'm 3 for 3, right?
Doing great.
We good. Let's go on to the next. The next tool that I want to point out is AI Board of Innovation. This is another way that we could potentially start from as opposed to using ChatGPT. So this will help you generate your personas. So our target audience, college age dog owners in Ohio. What are their problems? So we already have an idea, but this is another way. Oh, this is Phil. He's sometimes can be kind of slow. But this will help teach your students that just because you have a target customer segment doesn't mean that they have all the same problems. So the example, like I always tell my students to get as specific as possible. So just because you're a college student doesn't mean that every college student has the exact same problem across the board. Some of them are busy, some of them have families, some of them are working full time. They all have different lifestyles. And so this will give you a handful, like these are 2 potential college age dog owners. And I'll also note that I didn't tell it that it had to be a college student. So this is really interesting. Just because they're college age doesn't mean that they're college students. So thanks, Phil, for pointing that out to me. And so now I have some additional problems and some archetypes that I could dig into a little bit deeper. I could use these to continue to refine and hone who my target customer is. Using Board of Innovation, another option that they have. So we can go, and again, I'm copying and pasting. I could spend a lot more time making sure that these were really, really honed in. We're going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to steal this problem again. And I want to understand the problem. Let's specify lack of. Fill again. So this gives me more in-depth information on my potential problem that I'm solving. Gives me a handful of solutions. Do we like any of these? Oh, regular dog owner meetups, a mobile app, collaborating with local businesses. Do we like any of these better than our initial idea with ChatGPT of the pet sitting exchange? I kind of like pet sitting exchange. I think that's kind of fun. And then again, this is another tool. I'm not going to get into it because I think we have a pretty solid idea that we can build on. Brainstorm Buddy is another thing. So you can take what you came up with from the personas. You can put it in here, what the problem is, what the persona is, your target customer again, and it will give you a handful of ideas. So again, I apologize, we're going so fast, but did we do these things? We continued to identify potential problems. We understood the problem at a little bit of a deeper level. And then we did some more additional brainstorming because we don't always just want to go with our first idea.
So, Crystal, can I jump in just for a sec? This board of innovation is something new to me. Like we've all heard of ChatGPT. Can you tell me who created this and what their business model is? Or no, you just
no, but what I can tell you is it's free. It does not take a login. So I have never logged in or created an account at Board of Innovation. So some of you might be worried if you're worried about our like feeding the system and training the models, you're not connecting your own personal information to Board of Innovation. It's totally free and available.
cool.
No
Awesome. I'm learning something new all along here. Sorry to interrupt you, please.
No, please.
Yeah, thanks.
So now let's put ourselves in the role of the student. We have done some customer interviews. We've identified our problem. We understand the problem a little bit better. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I could use any of these others, but we're still going to stick with our original idea of the pet sitter exchange. Sorry for the scrolling if that makes you woozy. I'm actually going to copy all of this. Thanks. Let's go with pet sitting exchange. And then I'm going to copy this for later. And I'm going to ask it, because another place I think my students get hung up is, I don't have a name, I don't have a brand, I'm not a graphic designer, I can't pay somebody to create a logo for me. But I think a logo and a name is a really easy, low-hanging fruit to actually like legitimize it. If you say, oh, this is such and such, this is my business, it seems so much more real than it does if it's just an idea. So let's, we're being lazy today. Create 5 potential names and short slogans for this business. Up Swap, Bark Buddy, Rover Relay, Paw Pals, Sit and Share. Came up with some taglines. It came up with some names. Do we like any of these names? Pup Swap.
Vote for Pup Swap.
Okay, let's do it. So going back to the presentation. So now we're going to introduce a new tool called Looka. This is one of my absolute favorite tools if you have not yet used it. So we're going to use Looka to create a logo, to brand products, and to create social media content. Ready? So, oh, this is a brand I created for my boss, if you know Paul Benedict. So our new company is Pup Swap. And our tagline was, because every dog needs a friend. Okay. And it's going to tell me that that's too long, and I'm going to tell it to buzz off. So then we can pick some colors. And this is something, oh, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Logo generator. Here we go. Okay, so let's pick our industry. So we're going to go with pet care. And then I'm just going to select some of these that maybe they don't have to represent what we're working towards. Just going to give us a place, a jumping off place. So this is what I wanted to get to. I don't think maybe in a marketing class, but I don't think in a lot of our entrepreneurship classes, we get into color theory. So I really love this particular page. This will tell you certain things that certain colors evoke. And so getting your students to kind of think through that, what do you want to portray to your customers? What do you want your brand to kind of to be behind? So we're working with pets and college students. Maybe we wanted to do something around trust. Maybe we want to do something around happiness because our pets make us happy. So then again, our company name, Pup Swap, and then our slogan. Yeah, there it tells me it's too long, and I'm going to tell it buzz off. And then continue. And so then some potential symbols that you might want. Dog, makes sense. Pet care, heart, I don't know why I'd want to fish in there, but AI isn't a perfect system. Continue. And then look at this. We have a bunch of potential logos that make our totally hypothetical business that we created by my account about 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to just go with this. And again, going super fast. So if you're like, I kind of like this, but I don't really like that color, you can change all of that. It's all super customizable. I want to change, I want to change the heart to a different color. So you can change everything. And what I really like about Looka is it offers everything. So if I scroll down, I might want business cards. I don't need a graphic designer to create my business cards. I've picked my logo. It has my business on it. Okay, you need to hurry it up, Looka. We're building a startup in 15 minutes. There we go. So now I have a whole bunch of potential business cards, upload them to, Vistaprint and get going. If it's a social media kit, I think a lot of people, if you're not in social media, don't know that all these different platforms require different size pixels. It's like the heading for your Facebook page is not the same as your LinkedIn. And it also forces your students to kind of think through, well, where is it most important for you to be? If you're trying to reach college student pet owners, I don't know that LinkedIn is our right place. Email signatures. All I do is copy and paste. Business cards, business docs. So you might want to order letterhead. We might be getting official here. Invoices, different marketing things. You can even, the print shop. Say less. I want to make some t-shirts. I want to get out and get on campus. There's nothing standing in your way. I will say to download all of it, you do have to pay. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of like a ask for forgiveness person. So I would be lying to you if I didn't say that I have not copied and pasted or like screenshot these logos and then made sure that they're in a higher quality. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just giving you some options. So let's double check. Did we make a logo? Did we brand some products like water bottles and t-shirts and such? Did we create social media avatars? How much time have we been spending? Like nothing, right? We're still going. So we need to make sure that people actually want Pup Swap. How do we do that? Well, let's go find out actually. So now we're going to a new tool called Mixo. We're going to make a new site. Our startup idea, going back to ChatGPT, I'm copying this again. Where are you, Mixo? So here's my startup idea. I'm going to continue. And then here, what do we think that we want to do? We probably don't want to pay for, or we don't want people to pay us because we don't have a business yet. We don't want to schedule appointments. We're still just in the customer discovery, customer validation phase. We just want to maybe make sure, are people interested enough to maybe sign up for our mailing list? That seems safe. It doesn't cost us anything. If nobody signs up, we're not out any time or money, and we didn't promise anything. So let's generate. Let's say that that's what we want to do. And I should have told it what. So again, if I wasn't moving so fast, I would have been a lot more intentional and I would have told it exactly what the business name was. I could have uploaded my logo. I could have really made it a lot more specific. But look now, what do we have? We have an email, and Ulysses loves us. And we can debate the ethical implications of having, I don't know if this is a real person. I don't know if this is a real name. You can put your family's name in there. You can put your best friend's name and be like, thanks for endorsing my product or service. Again, all of this is customizable, and all of it, if you really wanted to spend some time, you could, really put some effort into making sure that it represented what you wanted it to.
You should go back. Those other two dogs were cuter.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Just kidding.
Okay.
All good.
You can change the colors because again, we use Looka and we have a brand portfolio now. You can change all of this. If you're like, this looks like everybody else's website, regenerate it. Totally different website. How long did this take us? Exactly 0 seconds. So, did we create and launch a landing page?
Yes, we did.
Did we write some copy? We have words in the website. And again, you can edit it. Don't like it, change it. Fake it till you make it. This is where I spend all of my time. And this is where I encourage all of my students to spend time. We didn't promise anything. We didn't launch. We're not actually out there trying to sell something. We are simply gaining validation. I didn't spend any time or money. I pay for a ChatGPT account, but to do what we've done today, you don't even have to do that. We have spent $0 and very, very little time. But now I can launch this. I can put it out into the real world. I can see if people sign up. If they don't sign up, maybe I don't have a great idea, or maybe I spend a little bit longer trying to get in front of the right customers. But we did all of these things, and we so fast. So hopefully by now you're starting to understand whatever excuse the students who say they want to be entrepreneurs have. I feel like we mostly eliminated it. So all good. We did these things. Moving on. So I am an educator and I am in the College of Business, and we like to do things like SWOT and pestle analyses and customer personas and all of these fancy acronyms. It takes a long time. And maybe we don't even know if we want to do this business yet. So Venturis.ai is a super interesting tool. And again, you might want to be really careful in what and how you use this and what you tell it. And you might want to fact check a handful of things. But as a jumping off point, we're going to tell it PupSwap is an exchange system, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we can put business name. We just want a standard report in an effort to be inclusive. I haven't checked all of these languages, but you have an international speaking student, English as a second language student. There are all these different options. We're going to keep it in English. And so this is going to give you an overview of the industry. It's going to give you your NAICS code. It's going to give you market size estimations. Oh, no, it's not anymore. Available only for advanced reports. Okay. So here's our NAICS code. So now I can use this to go do further validation on my idea. I can go to different databases and learn more about the size of the market. So now here's a SWOT analysis. Here's your pestle analysis. Porter's 5 forces. And so it gives you an idea of, should I go into this? And then if you pay for the pro version, you can do a path to an MVP. So where might you start first? What might you want to work on building out? Your unique selling points. You can get a customer persona, go to market strategy, all of these things. Whoa. I don't know about y'all, but that kind of surprises me every time I do it. So we have all of this information now. And again, fact check it. It's not perfect. Go through, make sure, especially if it's giving you numbers, make sure that it's giving you accurate numbers. But again, as a place to go super fast and as just simply a jumping off point, it's a pretty cool tool. And then this is another one of my favorite tools. We're going to go to chat. This is copy.ai. We're going to use a new product or a new project. So you can, this is going to be a problem. It's okay. So you can use it to do any number of things. So, let's see how far it'll let me get. Create 5 Instagram captions for PupSwap. We're just going to call it pet sharing service. I don't know how much it's going to give me because I've used it. Oh, there it goes. So you can also, and again, you can see up here, I'm running out of words used because I don't pay for it. Because why would I pay for it? But you can tell it, this is your brand voice, or create something in a similar tone as insert brand here. You can tell it to use a lot of emojis, a lot of hashtags. You can tell it, don't use any emojis, don't use any hashtags. And it doesn't have to be Instagram. You can say, create copy for my website, or create an email marketing campaign, or create a press release. You can tell it anything and it will create it. Again, you can edit it, you can customize it, but as a point of just getting started and getting going, it's a pretty useful It's a useful system. So again, going super, hey, stop. So we did this. We created some social media plans. We could draft marketing emails if you haven't used all your credits like I have. Again, spent no time doing it. Cool.
So Crystal,
yes.
I think it's a quick question. So Copy AI,
Mhm.
how is that different than ChatGPT?
It's really not. It's just a different tool. Sometimes you can, I like to kind of just put the same information in a bunch of different tools and see what they come up with. You can put the same prompt, like we could do this again and put the exact same prompt into ChatGPT and get a radically different result, which is why the disclaimer of this could be a spectacular failure because we can't control what we get out.
Is Copy AI specifically targeted, like the what fed into that? Was it more marketing related material?
I like to think it's a little bit more like in the words, like creating copy, generating emails, but not exclusively.
Cool. All right. Thanks. Sorry to interrupt. You got
You're good.
maybe 10 more minutes.
Okay. Expect me to build a business in 10 minutes? Jeez Louise. Okay, so finally, we are ready. We have launched. Everybody on campus wants what we're selling. We got to go. We need the money. So let's create a general presentation. So I'm going to tell it, you are the founder of PupSwap. No, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, steal my description again, back into Prezzo. Okay, we need $4 million and have decided Mark Cuban is the ideal investor. Create a pitch deck. And look, you can upload files. We could upload our logo. We could upload more information about our company. Jeff told me I only have 10 minutes and I got to go really fast, so we're not going to do any of that. So just give it the basic information. PupSwap. Look, this even gave us revolutionizing pet sitting, pet problems, bright future, revenue streams, your pet's best friend. So these aren't gorgeous. They will continue to update. But you can go in, because remember we went to Looka, you can create the background, you can make it your you can make it towards your brand, you can change whatever you want to change. And I don't, whoa, okay, don't use this logo and don't use this graphic and don't let your students use that graphic. But what this does is it tells them if they were going to put something together, what slides might they need? Because my students at least tend to just put everything in, or they put nothing in. So again, you would customize all of this. You would make sure that it's accurate. But it's a great template of just getting started. To explains the problem. I don't know that this is true. It's probably not too far off. The bright future, look at even name drop Mark Cuban's backing will help us take PupSwap to the next level and realize our vision. Again, this is generated in garbage, but different revenue streams. And we didn't even think about we didn't even talk about revenue streams, but now it's given us a handful of things I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't thinking third-party services when we created this, but now I have, other things that I can explore. And you can download it, you can customize it, or you can just look at okay, have you thought through at least these headings? This is something that these are all things that should go into your pitch deck. So that was Prezzo. Stop that. These are a handful of additional tools. They're moving so freaking fast that some of they changed, they are updated. Every time I do this presentation, I have to log into all my tools and make sure that they're where I left them. So you can check some of these, but at least you have the 6 or so that I was able to demonstrate today. Jeff, I came in under time.
Holy yeah. You're as fast as the AI.
Might be faster.
Crystal, that's amazing. Would you mind going back to that last slide that has the all those other tools on it?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'd love to.
And maybe you can tell us about the ones that we didn't have a chance to go through.
Sure. So Visology, I'll tell you about some of them. Visology is really a powerful tool from like the business development standpoint. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Mixo is what we looked at. 60-second site is very similar to Mixo. It's another build a landing page in 15 seconds. This is the AI Board of Innovation, which has 1,000 more tools than what we actually got to look at today. I don't recall what Final Scout is. Oh, emailing. So that's similar to copy.ai. I think most of them are other examples of most of what we talked about or what we covered today.
All right. This is amazing. Now, how did you learn about all these different tools?
It's a great question. It started last summer. I did what I told you at the beginning I wanted to do. I knew AI was coming. I was like, how can my students best leverage this? And I wanted to see what kind of tools for educators were out there. And also what could eliminate the barriers. Like no more excuses. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have an idea. I don't want to talk to my customers. I don't have a logo. Like all of these things I've heard my students complain about or say is stopping them. I just wanted to see what we could get rid of. And it's been pretty impactful.
And did you just, do a Google search and say, how can I get a quick website created? Or did you find it? Because
Yeah,
it seems like these things are they're being created quickly and it's rapidly changing. I just wonder how you learned about these. Is there a good way to stay on top of what the best tools are?
So I subscribed to several newsletters. Last summer, I thought I was going to test everything as it came out in real time, and I very, very quickly got overwhelmed. So I've largely stopped doing that. And also some of the original ones are getting more and more powerful, so I don't need to keep looking for tools. But it was a lot of newsletters, it was a lot of reading, it was a lot of, I don't think I set out to Google anything. I think mostly they came recommended through some of the newsletters I get.
All right. So we're starting to get some more questions in the chat. One that came in a couple of minutes ago was around DALL-E. How do you view DALL-E? How different is that than Luca or any of the other things you've shared?
Yeah, they're all kind of, again, they're all kind of similar. Now you can use ChatGPT to generate images. It's just a matter of, like, I like Lookup because it's connected to all those things, so I can download this. So instead of telling DALL-E, I need you to create avatars for LinkedIn and Facebook and Looka just puts it all right there, and it's kind of a matter of not being everything to everyone. Like ChatGPT is kind of everything to everyone. Looka is a place I know that I can go and get specific graphic design.
Cool. It's a question around funding. Are schools allocating funding for you to purchase any of these tools? I know I can say at Georgetown, I think I'm getting reimbursed. I just filed it last week, so we'll find out for just a ChatGPT subscription, which I've been paying for a while. So I've filed many months of receipts. But yeah, does your school pay for it? Is it easy? And also for students, do they have to pay for different subscriptions? Is there any way the school's supporting that?
That's a great question. I will say Ohio University is kind of on the like we're leaning pretty hard into AI and the tools that exist. No one has reimbursed me. The only thing I've ever paid for is a ChatGPT premium account, but a lot of it can be done for free. So, and I tell my and I say this as recognizing my privilege, but I tell my students, like, listen, if you wholeheartedly believe in this and the only thing standing between you and launch is $20, like, I'll front you the $20. Not all 300 of you, but if there's somebody like, so I can't imagine that it would be hard to get even the well, let's just go see. So if I wanted to, let's see, I want all of it. So if I got my brand kit from Looka, for $100, everything you would need to start your business: lifetime support, exclusive offers, business cards, letterheads, social covers. Whoa, 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 whoa. And so in the grand scheme of like how much it would cost to actually get started, or you just get the one-time logo for $20, download it, use the eyedropper tool in PowerPoint to figure out what your hex codes are, and go build your brand that way.
Cool. All right, we got some more questions here. So what do you do with your students after you run through an exercise like this in class, or have them do this? There's probably some next steps in terms of trying to validate the data, figure out which parts that the AI created are true or not true.
Do you want the honest truth? Like, I like to think Holly knew what she was getting into when she invited me here today.
Give us the most entertaining truth. That's what AI is for. It's not for truth, right? It's for entertainment. No, give us whatever version you want.
They're horrified. They don't do it because they're suddenly afraid of success. If I'm being totally honest, they take it, they run through it. They're like, oh my gosh, I no longer have an excuse. And they get scared.
So the actually talking to people part is where they stop.
Mm-hmm.
So do they, okay, I'm going to chime in. So do you have them actually, the students actually go out and talk to real customers and validate what you just used AI tool to help you develop? And then my earlier question was, these skills are still very important. So I'm thinking from a pedagogical, like course with credit structure is, I'd hate for a student to cheat themselves out of actually learning to interview or learning to brainstorm. So how do you, we can't eschew, AI. So how do you integrate the two to use AI, have the perspective that it's just a tool. I still need to do all the work and I still need to learn all these skills. How do you integrate?
Totally. So I think some of that is going back and fact checking. Like when Prezi told us that it's an $80 billion a year industry, like, is that really an $80 billion a year industry? So having them do that kind of work, having them interview real life customers, I kind of look at these as almost like a fake idea. I don't think that using ChatGPT to generate a business idea is going to be their end all be all $1 million idea. But I do think that it's a way to kind of get out of their own way and at least get something started. And again, my hope, anybody who's really truly like ready to create a logo, they probably already have an idea. And I put these tools together as a way that, like, what is it that you need? What is it that's holding you back? Is it a website? Is it an app? And there are tools to make apps as well. So really it's just tools. That's not replacing instructors, not replacing graphic designers. But in the instance that you don't have a couple $100 to throw at a graphic designer for a logo, like, this will get you started.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting some kudos here. Meg says that they used your presentation and the students absolutely loved it.
Oh, good.
Last quarter. It looks like some of the Microsoft licenses might allow for ChatGPT or the Microsoft versions of that.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like this is you can do all this stuff in less than an hour, as you've proven. And then the students can do the real stuff, right? Like making a logo is not how you build a business. But if you can do that part quickly, then it's time to move on and start to do all the what you might call the real work of building a business.
Yep.
Meg, you want to chime in some more? I have a question.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, our students have really loved this content, and thank you, Crystal, for putting this in front of them. I'm a digital divide fanatic. And the one thing I've learned in amplifying and accelerating with and through AI in the last year is that it really is highlighting some of the inequity issues that we still have in our classrooms. So just giving yourself lead time to try to solve that problem before you have class sessions that are rapid fire innovation sessions is really helpful and important. So that may not be an issue for all of you, but at the university that I teach at, that is a consistent issue. So ensuring that either you have laptops for a loan that you can help arrange or whatnot, and addressing that at least a couple weeks before the session so that they don't have anxiety. Because particularly, and again, I don't know about for y'all, but many students that are approaching digital divide challenges also feel intimidated by anything that accelerates the way that they use a computer. So just creating space for all of that so that people can confidently participate.
So to that point, thanks, Meg. To a couple of things to that point. I will say I put this all together and I give it to my students. I have never once expected or required my students to use any of these tools for that reason. Also for like discomfort, some of them don't want to put their email addresses, don't want to create an account, don't want to feed the system, and that's great. I respect all of that. When somebody comes to me and they're like, how do I get a logo? I just wanted to have something to point them to. I've never been like, you have to go through this entire thing. Because if they don't want to create an account, I'm not going to ask them to create an account or don't have access to it or whatever.
Yeah, my workaround was just to have them partner up with people. So there won't only a couple of students really feel concerned about that, and in which case they can partner up. But yeah, great resources, Crystal, as always.
Thanks. Any other questions? I'll put I don't know, I'm still sharing my screen. This is me. And again, so also back to the point of the digital divide, I'm not an expert. I'm not a programmer. I didn't make any of these. I'm just evangelizing if there's a way that it can be helpful. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a big dumb phony. Hopefully you got that on the recording for posterity.
If you want, we can highlight that part.
Please.
Crystal, this is great. Can you share any of you mentioned there's like a newsletter that you get that teaches you about these things. Can you put some of that in the chat, or, in case somebody wants to follow along and try to learn more?
I would love to.
Or add that to the slides. My understanding, I think Holly had already posted this in the chat. The slides that you've used today are going to be shared on the GCEC website along with the recording of this webinar. So I guess people can see the video and look at the slides. Probably sometime next week they'll be posted.
So AI tool report is good. And I'm typing them as well. And the rundown AI. And those are probably the two that I use the most.
Any good AI tools for project management?
I'm sure there are. That's a different presentation, Jeff.
That's the premium version.
Yeah, that's the premium. That's the paid version.
Got it. This is great. So you've, I can imagine, tried to turn what you've done today into a lesson plan and take students through this in a classroom in a very similar way that you've done. Is that the way you've done this before, as like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour course? And what are any tips on like what works well or what doesn't? Obviously you had everything already teed up, like your different tabs and windows were ready to go here. Anything else that might help us if we try to replicate what you've done here?
If you try to replicate it, we'll send you a cease and desist. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means. If you try to replicate it, like I said, these things change so flipping fast. So if I do this presentation again next week, I don't even know that it has the same functionality. So staying on top of it, double checking, making sure that you're signed in if that's required can get you. Some of them are not meant to be used as often as Looka, you go and you create a logo and hopefully you move on. So it gets a little frustrated with me when I'm like, here's my 50th logo. So just, double checking a handful of things can be helpful. When I have more time, I was, again, just trying to go really fast. I like to tell people what I logged into and what I didn't log into. Because again, for people who are hesitant to create accounts, I totally get and respect that. Board of Innovation is the only one that I don't have an account on, but that's totally free, totally available. You don't have to tell it who you are or what you're doing.
And I know Meg had mentioned some of the students' challenges occasionally if they don't have a laptop, or anything else that you've seen that went wrong when using these tools.
Well, I mean, all the time. A couple of people have told me, like, they called me brave because we did this in real time. Like you saw, I did not have a logo prepared. I didn't have a business idea. So your audience is really important, because when you try to do it in front of a bunch of sophomore undergrads, they're like not gonna participate. And then I can't build a company from nothing. So that has gone sideways a couple of times. Sometimes it hallucinates and it just gives really poor feedback, or it doesn't give you a really good idea or something that's monetizable. But that's just kind of the risk of using AI, and that's a lesson in and of itself, right? Like, it just told you that this is what it thinks a problem is for a college-age dog owner, but is it a college-age dog owner? No. And might it be radically different from one college-age dog owner to another? 100%. Go out and you need to validate that. That's the boots on the ground.
That's right.
That's your responsibility.
Be interesting if we change the prompts to say, in not just Ohio, but in Cleveland versus Akron or whatever, however you want to do it, right? Maybe you change the prompts in different ways and see if that changes the colors on the logo.
It does. I did this for a group in Northern Ireland, and they ironically also picked dog owners, and I said dog owners in Northern Ireland, and weather was a concern. And that didn't come up as a concern for our dog owners in Ohio. It's pretty smart.
Well, this is amazing. I'm going to turn over to Holly here in a moment to close us out, but I want to give you my thanks, Crystal, for guiding us through this, walking us through this, as the case may be.
I think we ran, actually.
Yeah, you ran. I was trying to make a dog pun. It didn't quite.
Oh, I see what you did there.
But thanks for throwing us the bone here, and with that, I'll turn over to Holly to close us out. Over to you, Holly.
Sure. Thanks, Jeff. And thank you, Crystal. This was amazing. I've seen you do this before, and you always inspire me to try out all these things after I get off the call with you. So thank you for doing this. I'm going to close this out with some really important updates. If you liked the conversation, the chat you saw, please join our GCEC Slack community. This is a great way to stay connected to each other and have these conversations in real time. And it's on fire right now. We had a few prompts this week where people are asking about center operations and CRMs, and there were several replies. So please join. You'll get an invitation because you attended today. I'll send you an invitation link when I send you next week the slides. But if you are aching to have it today, you can also just email me for the invitation. Crystal's on there, so you can stay connected to her and ask her questions. I encourage everyone to register for our conference. Crystal, I think you did a similar session to this at our conference last year. And that's how we discovered that this was worth repeating several times. So that's why we're doing it today. But you can get great content like this at our annual conference. It is November 14th through 16th, hosted by Babson College. I put the registration rates. It's going to change again on September 1. So please register by September 1 to get the best price. I also want to encourage everyone to check out the Thursday excursions. For those of you who've been coming to GCEC for a few years, we've always had, maybe one or two Thursday excursions that are during the day before our big kickoff in the evening. But Babson's planned, I think, about 5 different excursion opportunities for those who want to fly in on Thursday morning. Here's some of the options. There's the Freedom Trail in Boston. There's museums. There's ecosystem visits. Also on Thursday is our Center Leader Boot Camp, and it's ran by the Center Leader Academy. And so for those of you who are new or kind of new to your role, this is a really great, I think it's about a 3-hour boot camp for you. So there's a lot going on with the conference this year. So it'll be well worth your time, well worth your resources. Also get those submissions in for the annual GCEC awards. They are due on August 26th. I know a lot of you out there have award-winning programs. It's a great way to shine and build awareness for your work. Our awards honor and celebrate the best in our industry. You can see some photos of some lucky winners below. You'll apply on the reviewer site, which is linked on our website. And again, just that deadline to apply for one of the 9 categories is August 26th. So that's my plug for the awards. It can be a big game changer for a lot of programs who want to, increase their profile on campus, increase their profile in the region, the nation, globally. So please participate in those awards. And then if you do win an award, so if you win, we do a lot to try, again, to increase the awareness of what you're doing. We'll feature you on our website. We'll send you a media kit that your PR folks and your center and your unit can use. We give you a badge that you can use on your email. So we're trying to support and broaden the awareness of all the great work that the award winners are doing. Okay, so I'll close this with our next virtual connection. So some of you who pay attention to our virtual connections, we tried something new in January, and it was online or virtual networking on Zoom, and it went really well. It was very well received, and we got really positive feedback. So our August 23rd session is going to be another virtual networking session, and we're going to do it by role. So when you sign up, Nadine will have some additional fields for your sign up. She'll ask you what your title is and maybe what your area of focus is. And then she and I are going to put you into breakout rooms. We'll have some prompts. So definitely for those of you who are a little bit nervous with networking, we'll have some prompts for you in those breakout rooms to try to pull out some conversations. So again, along with Slack, this session on networking is just another way to build out your network, stay connected to one another, and learn from each other. So that's Friday, August 23rd at noon Central Time, and you will get communication from us on that. So, and I'll just say thank you again to Jeff for always moderating these sessions, to Nadine, who's on the back end managing all of it, and Crystal, thanks for your energy today. Thanks for all the great content, and I'll turn it over to Jeff.
That's a wrap. Thanks, everybody.